be more than human.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Joseph Carroll. I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll. And happy 4th of July. Today I'm going to be doing my review for book 2 in the Sandman Slim series, Kill the Dead. Now, when I do these reviews of books that are ongoing, you will have spoilers for the previous books. I try not to spoil the actual current book that I'm reviewing because you may just be tuning in to see if you want to continue with it. Now, an issue I had with the first Sandman Slim book was I thought the scope was so big. Like, where do you go from, from basically, you know, into the world, type stuff if that's the first book. But he does a really good job. I mean, this is, the way Richard Kadrey does things. It's really, his own style. I've never seen things done quite the way he's doing them, so it actually works. And as you might grasp from the title of the book, Kill the Dead, it has to do with, undead things, vampires and zombies. Right off the bat, he puts you, right into the driver's seat here. Sandman Slim is going after this vampire, and I like the way he fits in, kind of what vampires are. He's doing it as he's kind of chasing this vampire down, and fighting with the vampire. He kind of gives you like, oh, I hate young vampires because young vampires act like this, and old vampires are a lot easier to deal with because of that. And I like that. I like how he just kind of he slips it in there instead of like just giving you the whole ordeal. He's kind of giving you as he's doing action, which is really good. And throughout through this, Sandman is dealing with kind of I want to say he's he's a little tired after the first one because now he's almost seen as like a celebrity, and you see different scenes of this where people are walking up to him in the bar wanting him to do stuff, oh, show us your tricks or autographs or help me. And he's just kind of over that. I mean, that's never who he was in the first place, but now he's having to try and learn how to deal with people wanting his attention, and not just to kill him. And in this, we see that he has continued to work, work for the angels and all that good stuff, and how the government is still trying to screw him over and keep him on a leash. And yeah, that's not what Sandman Slim does. You don't keep him on a leash. But you know, um, there's I don't. It's not a love triangle that happens here, but you know, he's. It's obvious he has feelings for Candy, right? And then, another woman comes into the picture, and she seems to almost be perfect, for Sandman. They both like, they both like, you know, obscure movies, and she's a she's a porn star slash vampire zombie hunter. I mean, that seems perfect for Sandman, right? But you know, their relationship is very tricky in this book, and again, I like how Richard Kadrey is able to fit a lot of stuff in not a big book. And I myself, as a writer, I try to do the same thing. You know, where I feel some books and some writers that have really big books tend to fill it with a lot of fluff. Um, Richard Kadrey is filling it with a lot of actual things. Relationships, in-depth things with Sandman, and I think you get to really know Sandman pretty quick. I mean, we're only 2 books in, and I already kind of feel like I know about him. But again, I don't want to spoil too much on this book. But yeah, you get to interact a lot more with Lucifer, and there's a great view of a relationship between Sandman and Lucifer. So if you liked, the first Sandman, you will love the second book. I mean, and if you were kind of on the fence off the first book, but you're still like, oh, should I would read this book. It gives you a little bit different perspective than the first book, maybe a little bit more relationship style stuff. So if you were on the fence for one and you read this and maybe you don't like this, then I would say that this gives you both aspects, and I think the writing is better in the second book. So give it a shot. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're reading Sandman Slim and what your thoughts on it are, and I'll see you in the next one.